Alright, it's Sunday and it is like 15 degrees out right now, but I got some parts in from Amazon and I want to put them in. I'm trying to stay on top of this thing so time spring comes I can maybe drive it around a little bit, but who knows, because it ain't moving right now. But we're gonna do, got transmission filter, fluid, new gasket. I got the fluid for the transfer case and gonna try to get it, see if it moves. It won't stop because I crawled under there the other day and it's missing one of the front calipers and the other one's seized up, so I'm gonna have to break that one loose. But I'll see if it pops into gear, see what happens. All right, so first thing is I'm gonna take off this old pan right here and drain the old fluid out, change the filter, change the gasket, and hopefully try to get the end of that broken trans tube out of there. Hopefully that's not caused too much havoc inside the transmission. And yeah, it looks like the whole end about this much broke off of the trans stick, so that's gonna be fun. I need an extension. That's too long. These Klein flip bits are awesome. They come in like a little carrying case and they got like 8 sizes. They flip over. They like can flip either way, so you can quickly switch between 2 close sizes. But I use them at work a lot and they're definitely coming in handy on the truck. There we go. Holy crap, I actually had it in the right spot for once. Let's get all this old fluid out. Oops. It's like some gasket material from that. Let's see here. We got a little flake of metal up on the filter. It's got this little like rubber boot down here, which looks like it belongs up in this hole, but I don't know too much about transmission, so, but it's definitely not supposed to be inside the transmission, I'm guessing. But I'm gonna leave it for now. I can always get back in here. I mean, automatic transmission fluid's not expensive, but I'm gonna take this filter out and swap it. All right, so now that we got the trans pan out here in the daylight, some not so great things. Found the dipstick, but I also found all of that. Not usually a great place for spare bits of metal to be inside your transmission. I'm gonna get this cleaned up, scrape whatever's on here for old gasket, which doesn't really look like much right now. I don't know when the last time this was changed, but yeah, so I'm gonna do that, get rid of this. Not great. Ugh, yeah, no, not great. Yeah, hopefully the transmission is not completely fucked. So basically this whole thing is just filled with metallic sludge. So I'm guessing that I am going to be putting a transmission into this truck, which sucks because the transmission is not in the budget right now. Regardless, I'm going to continue with the filter, gasket change, and hope for the best, because right now that does not look good at all. That's pretty clean. I'm gonna wipe it down, give it another spray, and then get underneath. Now, something concerning I just found. I thought that this bolt fell out while I was taking the pan off. I thought it was the last bolt from the pan, and it fell into the inside the oil catch can. But I've got my last one that I took off right here, and they all have a very different head. So I think this was inside the transmission, although I can't really see where it goes. So I'm guessing I'm gonna be rebuilding this, which I'm not happy about. Buying a new one definitely isn't in the cards. I have no idea how much a rebuild kit for a 350 is, but hopefully it's as cheap as everything else, because so far this truck is turning out to be kind of a nightmare. And it's my own fault. I mean, it was less than $1,000. It was used on a farm, so they definitely weren't taking it anywhere to get serviced. So it was probably neglected and Mickey Mouse together for the 20 years it was being used on the farm. Oh, yeah. A little bit more fluid on my parents' driveway. There's the gasket for that. Now, the heads for these bolts look a lot more like the one that I found in the trans pan. And I think, yeah, I'm seeing threads right there. I think someone was possibly in this on their own. And let me see if I can get the camera in here. So this bolt, I believe, goes right here. There's threads up there. I'm gonna try not to drip on my phone. I'm gonna try to, yeah. So that threaded into place right there. I hope, I'm not too good at these camera angles yet, but yep, so that threaded into place. So that really worries me about the rest of these. I'm gonna give that a hand tightening. I mean, has to be worse than, I mean, it can't be worse than not having one in there at all and having it just float around your trans pan. So I'm gonna give that a tighten and throw the filter back on. Let's get this new filter in there. And make sure while you're doing this, you obviously don't get a bunch of dirt and debris inside the trans. Tighten these down evenly, a little bit at a time, so the gasket seals good. And now I'm gonna go get the rest of the pan and probably dip my hair in some trans fluid on the ground. Yeah. All right, so back over here, the pan is dried. I'm gonna make sure they gave me the right gasket. Yep, everything seems like it should. So I'm going to get a little RTV on this, let that settle in, and then I'm going to scrape clean the mating surface for the pan on the transmission itself, and then throw it back in, throw some fluid in it, see if the thing moves. Fingers crossed, because I really don't want to buy a rebuild kit or just a new trans completely. First time I've actually used this stuff, so if I don't look like a pro, it's because I'm not. Actually, you shouldn't do anything that I do on this page. I am not a mechanic. This is barely even a hobby at this point. I kind of just picked this truck up and said I'm gonna fix it. I mean, I fixed my own car, whatever I have, and I got the YouTube at my fingertips, so basically I'm the guy that's regurgitating it from the guys that don't know what they're doing it either. The point is to just kind of jump in and try it though, because I don't need this truck to get around. I don't really even need it to run or anything because it's not my main vehicle, and I have a work truck and I have a backup car. So this is kind of like trial by fire. Buy it, throw parts at it, see if I can fix it up to a point where it's decent enough to drive around, and then I have some other plans for it. If I fuck it up, I fuck it up and I learned something. And you just can't be afraid to make mistakes, because most things can be fixed. So I'm pressing it down all the way around again just to make sure that there's a good seal. Probably clean up the excess RTV if any pushes out all the way around. Thin layer on both sides of the gasket can't hurt. I am using the black RTV. I'm gonna let that spread out, and then I'm gonna let it cure. Very super fine thin layer all the way around. Not the best place to do this. I don't have a solid tool bench set up. I'm gonna let that set up. Gonna get under, scrape the bottom, then we'll install it. Alright, so I've got a clean surface for the gasket to get onto now. I'm gonna get that fitted up there and start putting in the bolts first by hand and then tighten them down after. Couldn't find my torque wrench, so we're gonna go off feel on this one, which isn't ideal, but I'll come back and torque them later. Supposed to wait a little while to really tighten them down with the RTV on there anyway. Try not to touch this against anything. Also, you want to line up your holes and slowly start working your way around, putting your bolts in. I'm going to start with opposite corners first, and then you can kind of take the weight off holding it up in the air for you. Oh, there goes my hat. Hat back on so I don't dip my head in fucking transmission fluid. I got 4 corners on, so I'm going to work on putting the rest of the bolts in and then tightening down a little bit. Alright, so the new pan gasket filter is on and tightened down. So I'm going to now fill it through the dipstick tube with just O'Reilly's premium ATF Dexmark fluid. It says that the capacity for a 350 is about 4 quarts a gallon. How many quarts? 4 quarts in a gallon, I think. We'll find out. I'm gonna put the whole thing in. Make sure it's not leaking. The dipstick tube is a known leak spot. I'm not seeing anything, so I'm gonna keep going. Not like I haven't got half a gallon already on my parents' driveway. I would take the hood off, but that's like a 2-person job. My friend Sean's not here again. I don't really want to leave this open to the element. It's already rusted enough. And then I'd have to tarp it after I was done. It's easier just to shut the hood and walk away. God, I hope this works. Probably gonna cut to something else because I don't think you want to sit here and watch me dump fluid in this thing all day. All right, got the battery in there. Trans is full. Fire extinguisher for safety purposes. Try to get this back in there, make sure it stays connected. This little Mickey Mouse fix we did last time. It's definitely not going to stay, but whatever. All right, so temp battery. While I got some battery life, let me show you the support vehicle here. It's a 2001 Audi A4 wagon, which was my daily driver before I got my work truck. Even bigger piece of shit than the truck, but it carries all my stuff. It's just something breaks on it every other time that I use it, but yep, so I got the tools in the trunk there, truck right there with the camera set up, and let's get it started, see if it moves. That doesn't sound good. Really wish my fuel hose came today. Thanks, Jeff Bezos. God damn it. That's sketchy. Don't use the planer's can as a gas tank. Yeah, it runs for like 2 seconds and then dies. Whatever. Let's see. I'm gonna try to throw it into drive. Or fucking reverse, and then right back into park. Fuck. God damn it. No movement still, so I'm gonna add a little bit more fluid and try again. Alright, so that's a really good sign. This front driver's side is still locked up. There's no caliper on the front right, but the caliper on the front driver's side is locked up, so it's not going to move because of that, but I felt it try to go in both drive and reverse. So that's a win for today. That's really all I was trying to do. I had some other stuff ordered, like oil, filter, stuff like that. I have the oil for the transfer case, but yeah, it feels like it's gonna run. Next step is probably get these brakes sorted and rebuild the carb, and we might have a runner. Transmission wasn't fucked like I thought it was gonna be. Well, we'll see once it actually gets driving, but that's a win. Sweet.